Wonders of nature. Why do leaves change color? Hey there, how's it going? So glad to catch up with you. Grab a seat, get yourself a coffee or a juice, and let's chat about one of the most amazing things nature has to offer, the way leaves change color. You know that time of year when trees look like they're on fire with shades of red, orange, and yellow. Or when you're walking through a park and get mesmerized by the ground covered in golden leaves. Well, today I want to break it down for you and explain exactly why that happens. Let's have this talk like we're hanging out on the porch, watching autumn roll in, no rush, just enjoying the moment. I've always found it fascinating how leaves change color, and I bet you've wondered too. Why don't they just stay green all year? I mean, most of the time trees are out there all green and full of life. But then, out of nowhere, a season hits, and they turn into this incredible display of colors. So want to figure out together what's behind this natural magic. The green of leaves, where it all starts. First, let's talk about why leaves are green for most of the year. It all comes down to a pigment called chlorophyll, which is the main player behind that color. Chlorophyll is like an energy factory inside leaves. It absorbs sunlight, mostly red and blue light, and uses that energy to turn carbon dioxide and water into sugar, which is the plant's food. That process, my friend, is the famous photosynthesis, and it's what keeps trees alive and growing. But chlorophyll doesn't reflect green light. It absorbs it less, so the green light bounces back to our eyes. That's why we see leaves as green. Pretty cool, right? Just imagine every green leaf you see is a tiny power plant working non-stop, producing energy for the tree, and as a bonus, releasing oxygen for us to breathe. It's almost like trees are our silent partners, taking care of us while we don't even notice. Now here's an interesting tidbit. Chlorophyll isn't the only pigment in leaves. There are others, like carotenoids and anthocyanins, hanging out in there too. But chlorophyll is so dominant that it hides those other colors during spring and summer. It's like chlorophyll is the star of the show, overshadowing the supporting cast. But when autumn arrives, chlorophyll starts to fade, and that's when the magic really begins. Autumn arrives. Why does chlorophyll disappear? Have you noticed how leaves start changing color when the weather cools down and the days get shorter? Here in Brazil, this is more common in places like the south, where autumn the fall season is more noticeable, or in cities like Campos do Jordão, where trees look like they've been hand-painted. But why does this happen? It all starts with changes in the environment. In autumn, temperatures drop, and the amount of sunlight decreases because the days are shorter. Trees, which are pretty smart, notice these changes and start preparing for winter. They know that with less light and heat, they won't be able to do as much photosynthesis, so they slow down chlorophyll production. It's like they're saying, time to save energy, let's take it easy. As chlorophyll starts to break down, it's not replenished. And as it disappears, the other colors that were hiding in the leaves start to show up. That's where carotenoids and anthocyanins come in. They've been there all along, but now get their chance to shine. Think of it like a theater. Chlorophyll was the lead actress, but now she's left the stage and the supporting actors take over. Carotenoids. The shades of yellow and orange carotenoids are pigments that create shades of yellow, orange, and sometimes a soft golden hue. They're present in leaves all year round, but only become visible when chlorophyll fades. These pigments also help with photosynthesis by absorbing light that chlorophyll can't capture, so they're like the plant's sidekicks. You know when you see a tree with bright yellow leaves, like little pieces of sunshine? That's the work of carotenoids. They reflect yellow and orange light, and the result is this warm, glowing look that feels like it's lighting up even the chilliest autumn morning. I always think these colors are like a gift from nature, a way to remind us that even as the weather cools, there's still beauty to enjoy. A classic example here in Brazil is trees like the yellow ipe. While ipes are better known for their flowers, some species have leaves that turn yellowish in the fall, especially in cooler regions. If you've ever seen this, you know what I mean. It's a sight that'll leave you speechless. Anthocyanins, The red and purple that captivate now. Let's talk about anthocyanins, which are responsible for the red, purple, and even blue tones in some leaves. Unlike carotenoids, anthocyanins aren't present all year. They start being produced in the fall, when chlorophyll decreases and sugars get trapped in the leaves. Why does this happen? As the days get shorter and the nights cooler, the veins that carry nutrients in and out of the leaves start to close off. This is part of the tree's process of preparing for winter, like it's shutting down the leaves it won't need anymore. Because of this, the sugars the leaf produced during the day get stuck inside, and those sugars react with other substances to form anthocyanins. Anthocyanins reflect red and purple light, which is why some trees turn a vibrant red that looks like fire. One example I love is the sweet gum tree, which you can find in some Brazilian cities like Curitiba. In the fall, its leaves turn such a deep red that you can't help but stop and take a picture. Have you ever seen something like that? It's breathtaking. Here's a fun fact. The amount of anthocyanins depends on things like temperature and light. Sunny days and cool nights without frost are perfect for producing anthocyanins. That's why some autumns are more colorful than others. If there's too much rain or the temperatures are too high, the colors might not be as vibrant. Nature's full of little details, isn't it? Why do trees do this? Now that we've figured out how the colors appear, you're probably wondering, but why do trees change color? What's the purpose of it? It's a question scientists are still trying to fully answer, but they've got some pretty interesting theories. One idea is that fall colors help protect the leaves as they shut down for winter. Anthocyanins, for example, have antioxidant properties, meaning they can shield the leaf from damage caused by intense sunlight or cold. This helps the tree reabsorb important nutrients, like nitrogen, before the leaves fall. It's like the trees making one last effort to get ready for winter. Another theory is that the bright colors might be a form of communication. Some scientists think the reds and yellows could deter insects that might lay eggs on the tree during winter. Or maybe the colors attract birds that eat those insects, helping the tree stay safe. Isn't it amazing how nature has these strategies? I like to think that, on top of all that, fall colors are a gift for us. It's like nature saying, hey, I know winter's coming, but before that I'll give you a color show to warm your heart. And you know what? It works. Have you ever stopped to walk through a park in the fall, hearing the crunch of dry leaves under your feet, smelling that earthy scent of damp soil? It's one of the best feelings in the world. The leaf cycle, an end that's just a beginning. After the leaves change color, they eventually fall. This happens because the tree forms a layer of cells at the base of the petiole, the little stem that connects the leaf to the branch, that cuts off the nutrient flow. This layer is like a scar, and once it's formed, the leaf detaches and falls. That's why in the fall the ground gets covered in dry leaves, creating that colorful carpet we all love. But the falling leaves aren't the end of the story. Those leaves decompose and turn into nutrients for the soil, helping the tree prepare for the next cycle. It's a renewal process, a reminder that in nature, nothing is wasted. Everything transforms. And in the spring, the tree will start all over again, with fresh green leaves full of chlorophyll. Final reflection. What leaves teach us to wrap up our chat? I'd like to invite you to reflect with me. Leaves changing color are more than just a scientific phenomenon. They're a reminder of the beauty of change. Just like trees adapt to the seasons, we go through phases of transformation in life too. Sometimes we need to let go of things, like the leaves that fall, to make room for the new. Next time you see a tree with colorful leaves, take a moment to stop and look, snap a picture, take a deep breath, and appreciate this gift nature's giving you. And if you feel like it, give me a call to go for a walk in a park during fall. We can talk more about nature's wonders while leaves fall around us. What do you say? A big hug.